Do you ever feel nervous before teaching a kids yoga class? Find out why along with 3 tips to help with those nerves before and during class. Hi, it's Mira with Global Family Yoga, and Amy writes in and asks, do you have any tips to help with nerves before and during teaching? Well, that's a great question, Amy, and I think a lot of people can relate. In fact, we're biologically hardwired to get nervous in front of a crowd of people. It's crazy, right? But there's a reason why public speaking is a very fearful and stressful event. And that reason is that when we're standing away from a crowd, separate from a crowd, our most primitive part of our brain is saying, hey, you've just moved away from the pack, from the herd, and you're not safe. You're exposed, you're out there on the plain where a saber-toothed tiger can come and take you out. And so it's very primitive, this response, that when you're separate from a crowd in a public speaking situation or teaching in a group of kids, your biological system is like, this is a bad idea. You need to be in the crowd in order to be safe. And so the first tip is to understand that this is natural. You're biologically hardwired to get nervous in front of a group. Great, right? So what are we going to do about it? Even if it's just a group of 6 kids and they're all 5 years old, you can still feel very nervous before teaching. And so first, the tip is to recognize that this is biologically hardwired into your system, and then to do something about it. So the second tip for handling nerves before and during teaching is to use your deep abdominal breathing. So the fight or flight response, which is always going to be triggered when you're in a teaching situation, is short and shallow breathing. And so you can counteract that and guide your system back into parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest response, by just slow, deep breathing. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can mitigate this hardwired response before it happens by doing this before class starts. You can do it at the beginning of class with your kids. It's something that we build into our class plan, and you can do it anytime during the class too. In fact, if you start to feel a little frazzled while you're teaching, put all the children into child's pose, let them have a rest, and you can take a rest too. Do some deep breathing, maybe look at your notes, find your center, and get back to teaching. So that's the second tip, focus on deep breathing. And the third tip for handling nerves during class is to really remember your intention. What's your purpose for teaching these children? Sharing the practice of yoga is an incredible gift, not just to the children in the classroom that you're teaching, but to all of humanity. Seriously, it's an incredible gift to give. And when you can remember your higher purpose, it kind of takes you out of your nerves and insecurity and helps you to see that, you know what? Any little thing that I share is going to give them an incredible experience. It's going to be very good for them, and to kind of go for the overall effect that it'll have, not each little piece as you go. So understand, number 1 tip is that you're hardwired to get nervous before class. And then number 2, the tip is to take several deep breaths before you start, at the beginning and throughout the class as needed. And the third tip is to remember your purpose for teaching and relax into the ease of knowing that we're really doing incredible work together. So together as a community, we can achieve more and have a brighter future for all of us. It isn't just what we do, it's who we are. So if you like this video, please give it a like. If you know anybody else who might benefit from these tips, send it along to them, share it with your friends. And if you haven't done so yet, come on over to globalfamilyyoga.com and sign up for our tools, tips, and techniques so you can get more great tips like this for sharing the practice of yoga with children. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Namaste.